Chismosas, I've had so many of you guys DMing me and commenting that you want me to do a breakdown about what's going on with Trump and Gustavo Petro in Colombia. So let me go ahead and break this down as easy as I can because I know it's very confusing. Now, this whole drama started when Gustavo Petro decided to do exactly what Claudia Sheinbaum did and decide that he was going to decline any of the deportation flights that were heading to Colombia. He was like, unless we make a deal, we're not going to accept any of this, the same as Claudia Sheinbaum told him. So Cheeto was pissed, his ego was hurt, and he couldn't stand it. And he was like, okay, you want to be like that? Then we're going to put a higher tariff on you guys. And I think it was like a 25% tariff. And he was like, take that, loser. And then, Cheeto really felt like he was on a roll. And he's like, yeah, and aside from all of those tariffs, I'm going to go ahead and revoke all of the visas for any of your government officials. How about them? How about them apples? And then I'm sure you could see where this was going. They got into a tariff war. And then Gustavo was like, oh yeah, two could play that game. And he's like, I'm going to put a 50% tariff on you. And then everybody in both of the countries were like, what is happening? And then a few hours and a pissing match later, they seemed to have come to agreement. And then Gustavo was like, okay, we're going to meet your terms. And then Cheeto released this statement where basically he was saying like, haha, we won, loser. And in the very first draft of it, where he first released it, he released Colombia spelled incorrectly, where it was spelled with a U instead of an O, and everybody was like, you are dumb! And then they released this version. Now, this whole statement where he was like, haha, we won, he was like, yeah, we're like the best. Like, nobody can beat America. But then Gustavo, he released his own statement and he was like, yeah, so they agreed to our terms and they're just going to make sure that when they do these deportations, everything is done with dignity like we asked from the very beginning. That's the only thing that we wanted. It wasn't that we didn't want to receive our Colombians back. We just didn't want them treated like trash. Because if you guys don't already know, for the very first time in history, Cheeto decided that he was going to use the military to deport all of these people. So they were basically going to be in like cargo planes. So obviously he's like, yeah, so we got what we wanted. So we're going to allow them to go ahead and do it. And we're going to get rid of all of these tariff problems and blah, blah, blah. And we're just going to go back to how things work. So all of the Colombians like, yeah, you stood your ground, hell yeah. And then America was like, hell yeah, America, ho, ho. Well, everybody got a different story, but basically it actually seems like Cheeto was like, okay, we're gonna meet your demands, and that's the end of the story, but he couldn't look like a chump, so he was like, yeah, we won. So in a nutshell, that's actually what happened, and it was so confusing because it seems like Cheeto didn't want to admit that he actually was trying to be reasonable and met their demands. I don't know, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Let me know down below in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, chisme, and all things tea.